Thursday night football. Your Seattle Seahawks taking on the San Francisco 49ers in week number 6 in the National Football League. The Seahawks coming in on a 2-game losing streak, but they're still in first place in the NFC West. Slight underdogs at home at 3.5. The over-under set at 49. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, I got my 5 keys to victory. We'll go over the injury report, and I'll give you my prediction before we wrap up here on today's show. A couple of quick nuggets, some quick hits for you before we go over everything else on today's show. The Niners come in on a 5-game win streak against Seattle. Maybe I'm the curse here, but as long as I've been host of Seahawks Today, these Seahawks have not beat the 49ers. So hopefully that comes to an end on Thursday night. In that stretch, the 49ers' average margin of victory is 15 points or more. So not only have the Niners dominated as of late, but they've won decisively in that stretch as well. And then when it comes to Thursday night football, beyond just these matchups against the 49ers here, the Seahawks have struggled on a short week as they've lost 4 straight Thursday night football games heading into this Thursday's contest. And for the Seahawks, this is their 3rd game in the last 11 days. Remember, they played the Monday night game against Detroit, came home Sunday to play the Giants, and now a quick turnaround to play the San Francisco 49ers. And they're very banged up as well. So a lot is going to be asked of this Seahawks team to try to take down San Francisco this week. You want to beat the 49ers? Here's what I need you to do. Like the video. Don't jinx it. Do your part. If we get 500 likes on today's video, that guarantees victory. When the Seahawks have not won this year, maybe it's a coincidence. I don't know. We didn't reach 500 likes on our game preview videos. So do your part. Like the video. Let's not jinx it. Don't make me come find you because you didn't like today's video. Like it, and we'll continue here on today's show. Let's begin with the injury report for Seattle. Boye Mafe with that knee injury, he is questionable. Woolen with the ankle injury, he is out, will not play. Byron Murphy with the hamstring injury, he is out, will not play this week. The Seahawks are hoping to have him back next week. Meanwhile, Uchenna Nwosu with the thigh injury going to injured reserve. He's obviously out. Julian Love with the hamstring issue. He is questionable, but the Seahawks remain optimistic that he will play. And then Derek Hall with a foot injury. He is questionable, but the Seahawks are also optimistic that he will return to the field as well. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, they're a bit banged up themselves. Their kicker, Jake Moody, is out with an ankle injury. And they're trying out about 4 different kickers right now to potentially replace him. Talona, we'll just go with that, with the wrist injury, their safety, he is out. Charvarius Ward with the knee injury. He's been a pretty decent football player over the years. Won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs. He is questionable with a knee injury. While Demetrius Flanagan-Flowles with a calf injury, he is questionable. Their star linebacker, Fred Warner, is questionable with an ankle injury. And there's more for San Francisco. Jordan Elliott with a knee injury is questionable. Their star tight end, George Kittle, with a ribs injury, he's questionable. Chris Conley with an oblique injury is questionable. And then Jair Brown with an ankle injury is also questionable as well. So what's it going to take to beat San Francisco? Number 1, I think, involves exposing Brock Purdy. Look, I think Brock Purdy is a decent quarterback, but not a great quarterback. Honestly, if I was San Francisco, I wouldn't even give him a second contract. I think he's great for being on a rookie deal, but I would not invest my franchise long-term in this guy with his limitations of what he can do as a passer. So far this season, Purdy has thrown for 6 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Completion percentage around 65%. But one thing I want to point to, if we take a ride on the hot tub time machine back to 2023, when Brock Purdy and the Niners on Christmas night played a Mike Macdonald-led Baltimore Ravens defense Purdy had arguably the worst game of his entire career as the Ravens picked off Purdy 4 times, sacked him twice, held him to 255 yards and just 18 completions. And you could argue that it was Mike Macdonald's shining moment. That may have been the difference in him getting the Seahawks job, was how well his defense looked that night against San Francisco. If he could pull that off again, that would guarantee victory, I can tell you that much. Who do you got? You going with Seattle or you going with San Fran? Type C for the Seahawks. Type SF for San Francisco. Get your predictions in now. Let us know what you think. We'll be live for the Seahawks matchup against the Niners coming up on Thursday night. Our coverage begins at 4:15 Pacific with our hour-long pregame show. And then we'll react to the game in real time, have a few drinks on hand. Make sure and join us live right here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/Seahawks TV, and we'll see you then. Number 2 on our keys to victory for the Seahawks, getting the run game going. Last week, the run game for Seattle was just atrocious. Kenneth Walker III only ran the ball 5 times, was held to 19 yards, 3.8 yards a carry. Mike Macdonald talked about this week. He said, yeah, I know, we got to run the football more. And Ryan Grubb, I think, got his first wake-up call that, hey, buddy, this isn't college football anymore. You can't throw the ball 45, 50 times a game. You have to run the ball and run the ball effectively. And when Kenneth Walker's been used properly, he's looked very good. Close to 6 yards a carry, over 200 yards, 4 touchdowns in 3 games played. I like what I've seen from Kenneth Walker when he's used right. But think about this. This is where Kenneth Walker, where K9 is so good, is with breaking tackles. And the San Francisco 49ers defense last week allowed 11 broken tackles against the Cardinals of all teams. That was the most of any team in the NFL last week. Huge chance for K9 to shine in that regard. Also looking to feed JSN. I've talked a lot on this program about how well JSN has played to start this season. I want to see more of it. JSN has gone 4 straight games with at least 3 catches for 31 yards. And when JSN is popping, this offense is totally different. They go to another level when he's playing extremely well when they get him involved. And you look at his statistics, 29 catches, 257 yards, 8.9 yards reception. That's the thing I want to see go up, is his yards per catch. Use him more in the vertical passing game. If they can do that, I think they'll see some big benefits to that passing game. Who will be the Seahawks MVP against the Niners? Is it JSN? Is it K9? Is it somebody else? Well, in the comment section, let us know who you think that is. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Still time to get tickets to Thursday's game against the Niners. And here's the deal, folks. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals and great seats. You don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They have their super deals, and they got some super deals for this game against San Fran. You don't want to miss out on those. They have their seat views. You can get the visual, see what your seat is like. Choose the event you want to go to. Seahawks games, Kraken games, all sorts of stuff in Seattle. They got the prices listed. You choose your seat, get the visual, see if you like that seat or not with that 3D view, and then you're checking out with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Explosive plays, a big key to victory for Seattle, and they have been one of the best teams in the NFL when it comes to those explosive plays. Through the first 5 games, let me give you a little chat stats on this. The Seattle Seahawks offense has 6 total touchdowns that were 20-plus yards or more. That's the most in the NFL. And in large part due to DK Metcalf, who set the franchise record for most touchdowns of 50-plus yards or more earlier this year. And he has been such a mismatch when it comes to opposing defenders. I think there's a real chance for DK to shine and to exploit this San Francisco 49ers secondary, who honestly is not that great, if we're going to be real with y'all. Last but not least, scheme over talent. If we're going to be honest with you, and you guys come here because we tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear necessarily. If we're going to be real with y'all, the Seahawks aren't winning this game based on talent. They are not the more talented team. Mano y mano, the Niners are the more talented team without question about it. But this is why you brought in Mike Macdonald for nights like this, to use that Sean McVay defense mind that he's been compared to try to exploit these weaknesses. Because think about this. Kyle Shanahan, the Niners head coach, since 2023 is 0-5 against top defensive coordinators who excel in simulated pressure and blitzing. You know who one of those 5 coaches are? Mike Macdonald, last year against the Baltimore Ravens. Mike Macdonald, his defense, outcoached Kyle Shanahan's offense by a mile last year. And part of the key of this is not just the defensive side of the ball, but the offense has got to do its part too. Ryan Grubb and company need to find balance and run the football, as we talked about. Geno even knows it too. Geno said this week. Obviously, it's important to us to be balanced and to take advantage of all the weaknesses in the defense. Our running game has to be the defining factor for our offense. I think as we go along throughout the season, the pass and run numbers tend to balance up, but we definitely want to run the ball. So scheme-wise, it's twofold. Yes, it's the defense, but the offense has got to scheme up and find that right balance to get that run game going. So before I reveal my prediction here for you, let's ask you. The winner of this game very well might win the NFC West. That's how big of a game this is on Thursday night. Are the Seahawks going to win the division? What do you guys think? Y for yes, N for no. Weigh in. Let us know what you think. So to recap, our keys to a Seahawks victory on Thursday night, exposing Brock Purdy for the fraud he really is. Get the run game going. Find that balance. Feed Jaxon Smith-Njigba. Get him involved. Get those explosive plays going with DK and company, and scheme over talent. Find those mismatches and exploit them on both sides of the ball. If the Seahawks do all those things, I think they can win this one. And I'm calling the upset. I got Seattle to win on Thursday night in a close one, 20-17. If you want the Seahawks to get this win over the 49ers, like the video. Do your part. Don't jinx it. We'll root on the Seahawks together. We'll see you coming up later on Thursday night, 4:15, right here on Seahawks Today. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.